get ready, guys. 3, 2, 1, activate.
You're physically retarded, you know that.
Assholes.
No, you. It's okay. I'm recording.
We can do
the
it
thing.
again. We can try again.
No. It's okay. It's okay. I got the green circles thingy. Like I know when. Like it's fine. I'll do it. Don't worry about it, guys. I've got this.
Activate.
I think we're plenty activated. So how's your week been?
Activate.
Pretty nice.
Is
What
it
about you,
Sunday
Pally?
again already?
Yes, it is. Wow.
Feels like just yesterday we were here before doing this again.
Feels like it was last week. Yeah.
It's almost as
So-
if we had a schedule or something.
Feels like it was 7 days.
Yeah, something like that. So, Pally, did you get any chicks? Weren't you dating a girl?
What's the topic for today's podcast?
Exactly that.
Recently, I was before, but not
Mm-hmm.
within the past few months.
Oh, so you're gay now? Okay, I see. That's fine. Yeah, like we don't mind. That's okay.
No, I'm not activated yet.
What a homo.
And what about you guys? What have you been up to?
Making my anime show.
Oh yeah, right. How's that going?
So this is a weep now?
I guess.
Still working on the intro. I need to figure out my art style and then stick with it.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because you said art style, and you also said stick with it, and it's funny because it's gonna be stick figures, right? Was that a joke? Because I think it's funny.
Me am not a weak though, cause my anime is good, not like most anime.
Excuse me, I actually agree. You know what's good? What's good animation? What's good anime? Neon Genesis Evangelion. Now that's good.
Most have shitty 13-year-old writing.
No, you. Yes, actually. All right. So, Zeiss is becoming a closet weeb. Welcome to the club. And Pally is gay. Great. I've been doing that.
What a
thing where-
week.
Yeah, right. I know. So, I've been doing that thing we talked about last time, where you told me guys, you guys told me, okay, so in Imouto, you told me to try and do one thing every single week, something different, and I decided that I'd play Overwatch and try to get good at Sombra. It went well, actually, and I figured a few things. So what happened is I ended up only doing it for 5 days instead of 7. Like on the 6th day, I was just exhausted. I didn't want to do it. Like I just didn't. It just wasn't like enjoyable. So I decided I might as well not do it. And I think five days a week seems to be my limit. Beyond that, I'm just not productive anymore. So
What
I'll
is
stop
a
That's
week?
why even God took a rest on the 7th day.
exactly, that's what I was thinking. Even God needed a day to rest. So. There's that. And I realized, yeah, Overwatch is a MOBA. Like, it's not a shooter, it's a fucking MOBA. Which is fine, but it's a MOBA.
Even God needs a break from the ranked retards.
Yeah. Like, it's actually just like League of Legends. You get retards and you complain about retards. Except it's slightly different because imagine, like, it's like League, but without role queue yet. Like, imagine the old draft system for ranked. Oh, that's Overwatch right now. It's cancer. It's so cancer. I hate it.
Sounds like my
Like,
kind of game.
Like, if you hate yourself, you're gonna love Overwatch, because what happens is you have someone like, imagine if your team is entirely made up of let's say four mid lane mains, all right, 4 mid lane mains who all want to play assassin, and maybe one guy knows how to play support, all right. And again, you don't have it's the old draft mode. So the first guy goes mid, and the other 3 guys, and the support guy is last pick. Let's say one of the mid guys decide, oh, I want to support, and then the support man is like, well, I made support, and then he's like, well, but you're last pick, so go screw yourself. So okay, he doesn't get to support. He's gonna have to, flex as well. He's gonna have to play a different role, and then so what you end up having is an AD carry, who is like a Lux main, who's someone who never
Jungle Imouto. Easy.
Like, you're gonna have someone on Ashe, playing Ashe, who's never played Ashe, who has no idea how to right-click on people, who has no idea how to kite, who can't CS for shit. Basically, someone who's gonna be completely worthless. You're gonna have someone on Malphite, on the top lane, who's, again, never gonna have played that role, never gonna make the decision to initiate a fight because he's a pussy, because he never plays tank, so he doesn't know his role. Basically, you're gonna have a bunch of shitheads. You're gonna have 4 people who don't know what they're doing, and 1 person who actually does, right? Like, that's what happens. And then what happens is...
That's why you just surrender at 15 minutes.
Yeah, well, the good thing about Overwatch is at least the games are short. Like, that's the one thing. But let me finish on that. So then what happens is the 4 people that are flexing will blame the guy who's mid because he died, like, once or something. Like, no shit, he's gonna die. This game is over. Like, he needs a team. Like, basically, if you get ganked mid lane, one good way to deal with that is if your jungler comes and, pressures the mid lane a little bit. But if your jungler is a poo-poo head, he's not gonna do that, and your score is gonna be, and you as the mid player, you're gonna be punished because your jungler is an idiot, and he's an idiot because he doesn't know how to play jungle. Now, it's fine not to know how to play jungle, and personally, I don't have a problem with people flexing. That's how the game is, and sometimes you gotta play a role you don't know how to play, and I don't care that you are trash at the game. What I do care about is that you tell me how to play my character. Like, that's the one thing. Like, it's like, no, you are doing so many things wrong. You are actively, like, if you were, most of the time, if these guys, like, it's like, most of the time, it would end up better if everyone played, just to stick with the league analogy, it would be better if all 5 people went, like, picked a mage or an assassin in whatever role, whatever lane. It would be better that way than if they tried to play the quote-unquote meta. In Overwatch, normally the standard quote-unquote meta is 2-2-2, 2 tanks, 2 supports, and 2 DPS. Everyone plays DPS, though, of course. And what happens is you have someone who plays main tank. Main tank is a role that's not very mechanical. Like, not mechanical at all. I mean, kind of, but very, very little mechanics. And it's all about positioning, decision-making, cooldown management. Like, it's actually really difficult. It's a completely different game. And because people think, oh, we have to play the meta, we have to play the standard comp, then they end up playing a character they've never played before, and they think that it's the duty of the people on their main roles to carry them. Like, no, bitch, no. If you are...
everyone should...
Yes?
Well, everyone should practice different roles if that's how the game is going to set up from the start, just in case. If you're not willing to learn secondary or tertiary roles and play them decently enough, then you're not putting forth your best effort to play within the rules of the game that you're agreeing to play.
Well, see, that's where I don't necessarily agree. Look. So, I decided this week that I'd play Sombra, right? I did happen to flex a tiny bit. Sometimes I'd play Winston. Sometimes I'd play Ana. Like, I'd play support and tank because I actually have decent game knowledge, especially since I was a skill rating tier lower than my actual rating. So games were fairly easy. So I could flex on tank, I could flex on support, and have a pretty good success with it. But the thing is, my goal wasn't to win, because you gotta understand this, Zeiss, is I wasn't playing Overwatch. I didn't sign up to play Overwatch. I signed up to play Sombra. So if I get in a game and the rule is, oh, well, you can play Overwatch, but you can't play Sombra because, well, you're going to have a better shot at winning, then I'm actually wasting my time because my goal is to play Sombra. And if I'm not playing Sombra, I'm actively wasting my time. It's as if I was doing something else. I'm not playing
But playing
the same game.
Sombra requires that you play Overwatch.
Yes, right. So what ends up happening is I don't care that we have 5 DPS. That's fine.
So deal with it.
Yes, exactly. I don't mind. Like
Or play something else.
No, that's the thing. I want to play Sombra, and dealing with it. That's
then you just
perfectly
dodge,
fine.
right?
You can't dodge.
You can't alt 4, alt F4.
Well, you can. You can in the first like.
Then
minute
don't
or
play.
So. Bitch, let me finish. So. You can dodge,
Jake.
but then you get severely punished, a lot more than in League. Okay, so listen up, Zeiss. The thing is, again, I didn't sign up to play quote-unquote Overwatch, and neither did any of the guys with me. I know that if we all have that mentality that we just want to play one character, it's gonna be absolutely fucked without the role queue system that's about to be put in place. It's gonna be absolutely fucked. And that's exactly what's happening, and that's exactly why it's so fucked. Now, you can blame the players, or you can blame the game. And now that I've seen really both sides, like, personally, I don't like flexing. I think flexing is a terrible idea. And here's why. Let's say
Flex.
let's say that I'm a DPS main, right? But I like winning, and I like being a good guy, and I want to win at Overwatch. Yes, sure, I main DPS, but I want to win at Overwatch, right? So I'm the good guy, right? Okay then, and we need a main tank. Fair enough, no one wants to play main tank. I'm willing to flex, I'll play main tank. The thing is, I'm probably atrociously bad at main tank, and I'm actively losing the game. And that's what happens every single game. You have one person who's willing to flex, whether it's in good faith or bad faith, doesn't matter. They're willing to flex, but they don't know what they're flexing into, and it would actually be better if they didn't flex. Most of the time, I have much better win rate when I have a 4 or even 5 DPS team comp. So like basically everyone plays DPS almost. The games go way, way better when that's what happens than when someone thinks they're quote unquote helping by playing main tank, even though they've never played main tank.
Well,
because,
that's
again,
just because of the skill bracket you're at currently.
No.
Clearly, when you get a higher...
No. It doesn't. No. Believe me, it doesn't get better as you get higher. It gets worse. It actually gets a lot worse. It really does. It doesn't get better. People like the scope of what you have to know. Like it's like in League.
Why does anyone play that game? That game sounds trash.
Exactly. That's a big reason why people actually don't play that game. That's what a lot of people are dropping out, have been dropping out of.
Let's
Overwatch.
make a hero game and then make only like 2 heroes viable, or make
No,
only two
that's
heroes
not
something people want to play.
No. That's not at all what I said. Yes, it's what people want to play. People want to play DPS. They want to play a shooter game. Except Overwatch is not a shooter. It's a MOBA. And I think it's a MOBA with FPS aspects, sure. But it's not at its core. It's a MOBA. That's the problem with the game. And that's why they want to put role queue into the game. That way, if you want to play DPS, sure, fair enough, go ahead. You're going to have a 20-minute queue. But you can. And you'll always get your role, and you'll have a balanced team comp, and you'll have
Those
tank
are screwed
players.
up. They should have just made the characters and then just profited off all the porn that was being made of them.
What you say?
Instead of focusing on the game, they should have focused on the merchandise and like sold porn of all the characters.
They did. In the game there's like Lucio. He has his own brand of cereals. They actually made that in real life. You can buy Lucio O's in real life. He makes so much money off of merch. It's actually disgusting.
Well, I think Overwatch...
But I want a Widowmaker body pillow, though.
I'm pretty sure you can find them, but
not a legally licensed one, though. Probably.
Yes, absolutely. I don't think Blizzard would condone that. So that'd be hot. Oh man, imagine some. Anyways,
yeah, I mean they took all the models off. Remember when it first came out?
Blizzard's so stupid.
And all their models were available. And people were making some sexy times with the models.
Yeah. And they still do.
They should have doubled down with that.
I'd be really curious to hear what they internally think of the the Overwatch.
Because I'm pretty sure there's more content that's not the gameplay related
Yes. Yes, absolutely. You're 100% correct. Overwatch is, they call it a cultural phenomenon. I think that's a big overstatement. But people are more interested in the characters, the story, things like that, than they're interested in the actual game. The game is pretty dog shit.
They might even be able to just make like an anime and forget about the game altogether.
Well, I mean,
think
that's pretty much what they're up to, right? They make a lot of animated shorts, which are basically cinematics plus, in a sense. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm only interested in the porn. Ooh.
Ooh,
Yeah,
indeed.
same, right? Why play the game when you can? Yeah.
I mean, they've got sometimes they get some decent writers, like the new character Sigma. Like, his backstory is really, really cool. It's the darkest character so far, and I'm not talking about skin color.
Apparently, people were mad because he's white.
Whatever, dude. It's the best. Like, it's actually I'd say it's the best written character they have so far.
Have they released enough information for you to make that judgment?
So dark. Edgelord. Cringe for teen-year-old.
No. He's
QQ.
really not. He's not an edgelord. Reaper is an edgelord.
I have harnessed the harness.
Okay, look, it's badass.
What kind of line is that? I actually cringed when that line came off.
Dude. So his theory is gravity is a harness, and then he harnesses the harness. He harnesses the power of gravity. The power of a black hole.
I don't know the way he said it. I have harnessed the harness. I was like, okay, come on.
Yeah. Okay, look, dude, it's a line. I buy his backstory 100%. I love it.
The darkness within me is darker than my screen's phone.
Darkness.
I mean, it's much better than who has a shit backstory? Oh, May. Oh my.
Democracy dies in darkness.
May's backstory is so trash.
Hey,
the May animated short was the worst they have ever made. They do not know, like, I don't know. It's like they don't know how to make a tragedy. Like
You just hate thick girls.
Yeah, exactly. So like, it's just so.
Maybe Blizzard hates Thick Girl, so they couldn't think of a good story for her.
Ah, maybe.
Their true colors are shining through.
And
That's why they need to hire me.
They'd rather make interesting stories of white men than thick Asians.
But what was it?
Is May Asian?
Yes, she's Chinese.
See, isn't there like a stigma between being thick and being Asian? Don't they hate that? It's kind of culturally insensitive for them to make an Asian thick.
Me and learn it in classical literature and Greek tragedies and such. Ooh.
Yeah, you should apply for Blizzard. Maybe they'd hire just on the basis of your catgirlism.
Yeah, they need to fill their catgirl quota.
Yeah.
Why would I work for Blizzard?
To make money.
Trash company.
No, you.
Yeah, steal their money then.
Yeah, a trash company is better than no company
Do you
at
even
all,
have phones?
nerd.
Destroy it from within.
I think Blizzard's fine, honestly. I don't know why you guys hate Blizzard.
Like,
genuinely. Blizzard. Yeah, but why Zeiss though? Like, are you just trash talking, or are you?
Because they're noobs.
Okay, I see. So you don't actually hate Blizzard. I mean, obviously.
So is right.
I bought Activision stock. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting to flip it.
Wait, actually?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, that's neat.
When it was like when they crashed recently. The last time they crashed, I bought.
You're gonna lose your monies then.
I'm gonna wait next BlizzCon for the next.
Good luck,
dude. I'm gonna wait for next BlizzCon. I'm gonna wait for the next fiasco, and then I'm gonna buy. Dude, stonks.
No. I'm sure it's gonna go up. I didn't buy a whole lot, but I bought enough.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm actually gonna start buying stonks. I don't know how though. I don't know how I'm supposed to do that. Maybe you could help me out with that.
I don't know if the exchanges apply in Europe. I think you guys use a different exchange.
Right, but it's a free fucking country. I can still go on the internet.
Sure.
Use a VPN, right? Right.
I actually think that's illegal.
I think you should suck my dick.
Because you have to like report what you make in your home country. So if you're saying
Mm.
I'm in somewhere else
No,
making money,
you need social security number to do it in the U.S.
Okay, that sucks. It's
I
so
mean,
weird. Why would
I don't know how
need...
the EU does their trade stuff. So like you just have to look into it over there.
I'll ask my dad, I guess.
Like I'm sure you can buy stocks in U.S. companies, but like you'd have to do it the way that you would do it would be different from how we do it.
You'd have to do it through whatever European equivalent is around.
Europe sucks, man. I don't want to be European. It doesn't even mean anything to be European.
Yeah,
it's like saying
Europe
it's
should
like
just blow up.
Excuse me.
I mean, Europe should just blow up.
It means you're a budget American. TP for fun.
That's accurate. Okay.
What does Europe have that America doesn't? That's
Cheese.
good.
Cheese.
Aside from
And
food
wine.
products.
Swedish boobs.
Sexy European girls. Ooh.
Hell yeah, dude.
Apparently Sweden convicted that one US rapper who was there who got in a fight.
ASAP Rocky.
Yeah.
In Sweden, it's illegal to be a criminal.
He got wrecked.
I don't know if I want to go to Sweden now.
Yeah.
Trump needs to get him out.
I see why Felix left Sweden. And apparently Swedes are racist, so I guess that aligns. Felix is that way
Really?
though?
Are they? I guess it would make sense, but it's kind of weird.
Well, they
Like,
arrested a black man. That's pretty racist.
Oh, yeah. You're not supposed to do that. What the fuck?
Send the Navy SEALs to extract him like the SAS stormed the emissary way back then with Captain Price.
Okay.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
All right. So,
Because
you
Trump
got...
said another bad thing recently, so people don't like him
please,
right now.
Please.
Hey,
Don't start with Trump.
this is my topic.
Okay, it's your segment.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's Belly's segment. Go ahead, talk.
No, I take it back. What were you gonna talk about?
So Overwatch was interesting. I don't think I want to do that again. At least not until Roll Q comes out, and even then I'm
Never
not
play
sure.
Overwatch again?
No. I'd play it, but not like dedicate.
I agree with you. Never play Overwatch
So my
again.
thump.
No, Overwatch is actually a good game. I actually like the game. It's just too much of it is really
the game
bad.
in concept good or the game in practice is good?
In concept. Like Overwatch, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Overwatch is the most fun thing I've played when I was playing with a team. That was a blast, an absolute blast. It was amazing how good it was. It was so much fun because I could rely on my teammates. I knew what was gonna happen. It was so good. And then if shit happens, it's actually our fault. It's my fault. It's our fault. And we have to work together. And the best part is we can work together because we're actually a team. And that's how Overwatch was meant to be played. And that's amazing. That's actually so much fun.
Yeah, the concept is good because they make more waifus for me to find more pretty art of. Ooh.
Ooh, woo, indeed. But yeah, if I was to dedicate time to Overwatch, it would either be in a team environment or it would have to be 2-2-2 when the 2-2-2 role lock thing comes out. Not any time before that. But it was interesting. I don't think, like, if I'm going to spend a lot of time on one specific thing and that's going to give meaning to my life, I don't think Overwatch is going to be it. But honestly, it was fun. It was actually fun. It's definitely not as bad as League. I know I called it a MOBA, but the problem with League is specific to League in that I feel hostage in a game of League, and that, like, I don't feel hostage in a game of Overwatch. So Because there's no such thing as snowball. Like, you can theoretically always win. Well, no, there are situations where you're just fighting not to lose, but it's pretty rare. Most of the time you can always win. Whereas League is just... No, League is horrible.
I agree.
Yeah, League is like the worst game in the... Like, it's so bad. Don't play League, please. Keep your sanity.
I'm gonna sell my League account. Who wants to buy it?
I thought about selling mine, but I don't know, man. I'm so invested in it. It's my account. You know what I mean? I could make money off of it. I guess I could try to see it the other way around. Like, would I pay? Like, let's say I think with an account like mine, I'd be able to make a few $100 probably. So let's take the problem backwards. Would I be willing to pay a few $100 to get an account like that? The answer would be fuck no. Well, then, isn't this the same thing, you know?
Well, there's 7 billion people on the planet. Chances are someone's willing to do it.
Yeah, but what I mean is, would I... No, you don't get it. It's like, would I spend a few $100? Would I lose a few $100 to gain a League account, like the one I have? The answer is no. But then, isn't purchasing a League account the same thing as not selling it?
What?
Isn't making a purchase the same thing as not selling an item? Like, if you have, let's say you have a very rare, you find...
You mean like a transfer of value? Isn't it the same?
Yeah, something like that. Like, let's say you find a rare Pokemon, like an original Golden Charizard in perfect condition in your
Well,
garage.
I mean, they both might have value, but it depends what you can do with that value. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Hold on. So let's say you find a Golden Charizard in your garage, and it's in perfect condition, and you look online, and it's worth $3,000. So you could sell that Pokemon card and make $3,000. But it was in your garage, it was yours when you were a kid, and you decide instead that you're gonna frame it. And you frame it, and you sit on that $3,000. Okay, now let's take another situation where you walk into one of those stores when they sell that kind of shit, and you see a Golden Charizard in perfect condition, framed, and they ask you for, and it's priced at $3,000, and you decide, of course I'm not gonna buy that. That's crazy. That's why I'm asking, isn't it the same thing? Like, isn't it, like, what's the difference between not purchasing something, or rather, what's the difference between purchasing something and not selling it? If you purchase the Golden Charizard, you lose $3,000 and gain a Golden Charizard. If you decide not to sell it, you sit on $3,000 but keep your Charizard. It's basically the same, like, you're doing the same transaction. Except...
Well, no, that you're like speculating if the value stays the same.
Oh, it's an
example. Of course not. You'd figure out the store's hours and locate the cameras and then cut out the power and steal it at night. Simple operation.
Oh, yeah, right. So...
I mean, because nothing has value forever. You have to...
It has... Let's say at a given instant. I don't think you understand the problem.
I don't think you understand what you're saying.
I perfectly understand what I'm saying. I don't...
Well, what I'm saying is I don't think what you're saying applies to anything in real life.
I think it applies to literally anything in real life. The problem is, look, what I mean is, there is a, like, the fact that you own something and you don't want to sell it gives it value. The fact that it was yours gives it sentimental value, right? You can agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the whole point about that Charizard, is because it was yours and it has extra sentimental value, you decide that you are not going to get $3,000 from it. Whereas in the case where it wasn't yours originally, you wouldn't purchase it. You wouldn't spend $3,000. The only difference in these two instances is this sentimental value of the item. And when I think about my League account, the only thing that's preventing me from selling it is the fact that it holds some sentimental value.
Depends on how desperate the noob who buys your account island. They'd have to be super hard struck. Paper 5, who always blames their teammates and doesn't realize they're a mindless monkey.
Plenty of people like that. So that's the whole thing. The only reason I'm not selling my League account is because it has sentimental value. Then the question is that sentimental value really worth that much? Is it worth a few $100s? Because maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not.
So that's what I've been saying, and I'm seriously thinking about it, and you should too, right? Because money is good. I like money. Do you like money? I like money.
Well, I hope you die, capitalist scum.
Thanks. I mean, the communists, they liked money too. They just didn't like it in other people's hands, and they couldn't get it because they're fucking unemployed bastards. So they decided
money is the source of all evil.
That's an interesting statement. Okay.
Yeah, we need to abolish money.
All right. Let's trade sheep then.
For some reason, when I'm on Twitter, I keep getting like recommended tweets from this socialist guy.
Bernie?
Even though this other random social I think Twitter's trying to influence me, right?
Ooh.
Because it really
Socialism
feels
is good when it takes other people's money and give it to me. But when you take monies from my taxes, then you've gone too far.
No, because this guy, I don't know, I'm not gonna say his name or anything, but he's a game dev, and he's like, "Oh, give me money so we can help develop our games." But then he's all like, "Capitalism is bad. We need to implement socialism." So he's one of those guys. He's like, "I don't want to work. I want my money to be given to me so I can do whatever I want to do." But also, capitalism is bad because everyone should be valued. But give me your money that you worked for.
That's interesting. Sounds like a really fun person to hang around with.
Yeah, he says things like, but it's more than just this person. Like, this ideology like floats around. It's like everyone deserves to have, whatever they want.
Oh, that's so dumb. Oh my god.
Maybe he should try doing something of value that people are willing to pay him monies for. Diva Gremlin.
Well, they think that everyone has inherent value, and the market shouldn't decide whether what you're doing is valuable or not, and that everyone deserves like physical goods.
This is like applying religious thinking to a marketplace. It doesn't work like that.
I don't know. My only question for them is like, who makes everything then? Because what if like no one wants to make these things?
Well,
you can't get something if no one wants to make it.
The slaves in the gulag, obviously. It worked brilliantly in the USSR. Only 250,000 people died to dig the fucking Volga Canal. Like, only 250,000 people. It's nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. That's my biggest issue with the socialist types. They say, "Oh, everyone deserves money. Everyone deserves a way to live," but they don't explain how the amenities
you know what
they
people
use,
deserve?
where they come from.
You know what everyone deserves, and I think we can all agree on that. Everyone deserves good weather. Right? You agree?
All I heard was good. You cut out.
Dude. Everyone deserves good weather. Yeah, right? Like, no one...
I mean, no one's good weather is the same.
Yeah, that too. Why, if I don't like rain...
So you're saying we should nuke the planet and make it all the same temperature?
Well,
we need to retilt the planet. If everyone lives around the equator.
Yes, Zeiss, isn't that the logical conclusion? If no one deserves bad weather, if everyone deserves good weather, then it means you have to make it so that there is no bad weather. How do you do that?
The problem with that is humans would go mad if everything was the same always.
Yes. Like,
humans need change
humans
more than they realize.
Change. I don't know if it's change, but there's something true.
Need inconsistency. Yes. If everything was always the same, people would go crazy.
Like
they need variety in their life.
So Dostoevsky, in Notes from Underground, he wrote that if people only had to only had to eat cake and busy themselves with the perpetuation of the species, they would burn everything to the ground just so something happens.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's what Dostoevsky said too, and you're absolutely correct. It's like there was a very interesting experiment.
Was it that rat experiment?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So
people think there's like problem with that guy's methodology, but I don't really.
Yes, I agree. I don't like this guy's methodology, but I'm gonna cherry pick this because it fits my argument. I didn't see any problem with that video in particular. I remember I watched some other of his videos, most notably the one about Mao, which was just wrong. It was.
Oh, you're talking about that it's okay to no. Today I learned, right?
Yeah. I guess maybe it was that. But and there was something that I didn't like about the rat experiment because he said at the end something like, "Oh, we don't know that it has any connection. It probably doesn't have anything to do with humans, but it's still fun to it's still interesting." Whoa. Like, dude, we are the same as rats. We are like, why do you think we call? How do you think we developed loot boxes?
Maybe
and
you're
shit?
a rat.
How do you think we developed loot boxes and shit? It was the Skinner box experiment. And what do you think those were? Pigeons and rats and shit like that. Obviously, yes. We're more like rats than we're different. I don't know. Anyway, so the point
I think the hope is that humans can overcome that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Because once we do become if we become a utopia,
we'd have to not be humans.
That's what I'm saying. Like we'd have to get over our primal instincts. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to sustain it.
I agree. We'd have
Most cannot resist their base instincts.
We'd have to become Ubermensch. Like, actually, I believe that's what Nietzsche was all about. Like, if we want a utopia, if you want to, if you look at the direction life takes, just life in general, not necessarily humanity, but just life, you see that it becomes there's less and less bestiality, and more what we call humanity, which is like
life finds a way.
Yeah, I don't know if it always does though, but. The point is, we go in a certain...
For example, like, the socialist types, once they have everything they want, they think it's going to be good because they don't have to actually struggle, but they don't... They've never lived a life where they had to struggle, really. Yeah. So they don't know what the difference is going to be. They just assume everything's going to be okay, but in reality, it probably won't.
Yeah, that's why we need democracy. I don't understand your point.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. So yeah, but like I read Road to Vegan Pier, and there was something. So it was a book, one of if not the first book Orwell wrote. I mean the earliest one I'm aware of, and it was basically sort of a report on how he went to Vegan Pier, which is like a miserably poor city and a miner's city, and like how people were living in just absolute misery and poverty, and how there was like social housing crisis because every single building had to be renovated. Yeah, but then you'd have to kick everyone out. Yeah, but there is nowhere to put them, so you can't kick them out, so you can't renovate anything, so everyone has to live in. Anyways, that was really horrible. But the second half of the book, he starts really going on about his ideology, because at that point he's a socialist. I don't know if he changed his mind, let's say, over the course of his life, and maybe when he wrote 1984 he had a different state of mind, and I disagreed with a lot of the things he said in Road to Vegan Pier. But there was something that was really interesting, and I think it's a good argument, is that there will be a point in humanity where work is not needed, and capitalism does, at least as far as the workforce marketplace goes, capitalism does not know how to deal with that. It just doesn't. Like if there is no more work, and we're getting there, if there is no more labor, then you can't reward people because there is no challenge. There is no work to be done. And then
The robots are going to take over. Monkeys.
well, the problem is with something like this is it sort of reminds me of that rat experiment where the rats just live a perfect utopia. They don't have to work, they don't have to struggle, and they basically just all die out, which is exactly, I believe, exactly what would happen to human beings. And, well, socialism is apparently an answer that's been suggested. Like, okay, capitalism obviously cannot work if there is no work. The problem with Marx and his idea of communism and socialism is that all the work's going to be done by slaves, basically, right? Except here, they wouldn't be done by slaves, but by, let's say, robots. But though it's not proper to talk about robots. It's not robots. It's computers. But whatever. Let's say we'd have robots doing all the work.
Yeah, we need robots to do everything.
We are getting there. I'm not joking. We are already there. We're already there. Like, I've looked at some of the numbers, and it's interesting because I think in like 10 years, America has seen like an increase in population by like 10%, but
it's not going to work out in the end if we don't get rid of like the concept of money, though, because people are going to say,
No. You need to give value to things still, right? If there's no money, then there's no value.
With the current way people think, yes. But the way that we think now isn't sustainable in long term. Like, to become a spacefaring species, it's not sustainable.
Yeah, I agree. I think the main problem is there isn't enough
because
work.
All people will see is that, oh, these other people have more than I do, so I need to have more.
Well, I don't think that has anything to do with people. I wouldn't blame people for that. If anything,
people already think like that, though.
Yeah, and they won't stop thinking like that. Like, I don't think it's like this is like complaining about your teammates in solo queue. Like, yeah, sure, you can blame them, but is it gonna make is it gonna change anyone or anything? No. So like, is it worth? Is it actually part of the problem then? Well, not really. You know, I mean, it's part of the problem, but it's not part of the solution.
Kind of.
Yes, it's part of the problem, but not part of the solution. You know, so you're not like blaming people and telling them, "Oh, you shouldn't care about money." Like, do you think?
It helps you realize that you need to do more.
Yes, but like,
we need a Thanos snap, is what we need.
That's actually really interesting because, I think that's why Thanos was so fucking popular. It's because it makes fucking sense. It just makes sense. Now, it doesn't make absolute sense, you know, like people have tried debunking it with more or less success, I'd say. But the idea that if you just kill half of life, then
what he's doing is not killing like the resources, the physical resources weren't the problem. It's the mental space resource that was the problem. Which is why Thanos is correct.
I don't know. I haven't given that much thought. It's interesting. I don't know what to say about that yet.
I'm working on a thesis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working on it.
Very good. Did you include
Thanos is right.
Thanos was right. That's perfect.
Yeah, I'm gonna title it that because I think someone already did title a video that, but it's gonna get a lot of clickbait.
Well, I mean, one thing that I understand is that a lot of the there are two things that really piss me off about. I mean, let's say not piss me off. That's not the right way to put it. There are a couple things about environmentalist types that I think should be discussed more. The first one is the idea that the planet is dying. No, it's not. We are. Like, the planet is fine. Who fucking cares? It's ground. Plants don't give a shit. They'll survive. Life will go on, with us or without us. That's the problem. The problem isn't that we are killing the planet. The problem is we are killing ourselves. If what we are doing to the planet was not a threat to humanity, we would legitimately not give a single shit. And
The plant is
That's
killing
literally
us.
the human
Solve the
history.
scoop.
We didn't care about what we were doing for all of human history until recently when we realized, oh shoot, this isn't sustainable anymore.
Exactly. So at no point is it about the planet. It's about us. Like, why make it about the planet? Oh, I care about the planet. No, you care about your family, which is fine, but don't go around pretending you care about something bigger, because you don't. So there's a sort of hypocrisy behind it that I really, really don't like, and everyone seems on board with that. And I just think it's
Well,
stupid.
I mean, if we look at the other planet, what is it? Venus.
Yeah.
It's uncontrollable. It's uncontrolled, like heating made life impossible there. Like that's what people are comparing Earth to. Is like
That's
if we have
retarded.
uncontrolled heating.
That's retarded. Life will be just fine, dude. It's not about, like, life will be fine. We won't. Life will be just fine. Things can survive at 270 degrees Celsius.
Well, it depends on what we define as life. You know, sure, there's some microorganisms and some plants that.
But Earth goes through ice ages all the time. We just haven't been around long enough to survive lots of them.
Thing is, we aren't worried about life. We are worried about what's closest to us as human beings. The first thing being ourselves, then our family, our friends, and whatnot.
Are
And
you
then
saying that we shouldn't be worried about like
Kittens and
pollution,
puppies.
like pollution into the oceans and stuff? Is that not an issue that we should be worried about?
it depends. Is it a threat to me as an individual? Is it a threat to my family? Is it a threat to my community? Is it a threat? And you extend it, and then you tell me, well, it's a threat to all of humanity and all of life on Earth by extension. Though life itself will survive, the existing forms of life are threatened. In which case I'm like, okay, but it's pretty far away from me. Which is why people don't actually care that much. They like to think they care.
People have a detectable amount of plastic inside their body because of all the plastics that's in the oceans. You realize that, right?
Yes. Are we dead though? I'm breathing right now. I'm not saying it's good. It certainly isn't. Probably not. Though again, I'm not a medical expert. But I'm alive, aren't I?
Are you?
Are you?
Good question. Anyways. No, but what I mean is, so this sort of hypocrisy of like, oh, I'm putting the problem way beyond the scope of what I actually care about is it's like I'm saying, oh, I work. Let's say, oh, I'm taking the bike because I care about the planet. No, you're taking a bicycle to go to work because it's cheaper than the car. That's why. It's not to save the fucking planet. Don't be a hypocrite. If you want to take the bike, more power to you. I think that's a great idea. You're gonna work out, you're gonna save some money, and it's gonna have an environmental, benefit. But then going around and saying, "Oh, I care about the planet." No, you actually don't. You care about yourself, your family, and humanity at large. But you don't give a shit about the planet. You barely do. If you had to choose between the planet and humanity, you'd pick humanity 100% of the time, or maybe not 100%. But I'll tell you what. If someone was to choose the planet over humanity, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near them because those are genocidal people. Oh, we need to save frogs. Yeah, and how much? What will it cost? All of humanity. Yeah, no thanks. I actually like being alive.
What are we talking about?
My point is, people who pretend that they do it for the planet are hypocrites. Because they're not doing it for the planet. They're doing it for themselves, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong is to lie.
But if it achieves the same goal, what's the problem?
The problem is, why would you say, it's not about actions, it's why would you say to me that it's to save the planet? What's your motivation to tell me that instead of telling me the truth if both achieve the same thing? One is more true than the other. Okay, why did you pick the lie?
Well, because people want to have a bigger impact than their own lives. If you say, "Oh, you're gonna die," it's like, okay, yeah, well, so what? If you tell people, "Oh, you're helping save the planet," you're like, "Oh, that's big. I can make a difference." People want to feel significant. They don't want to just be,
I don't think so.
self-centered.
I don't think so. I don't think that's what's happening at all. If there was no one around you, literally no one, you were all alone on Earth, there was no social interaction, no one to brag to, would you actually say it's to save the planet? Probably not.
But yeah, we're not talking about people in a vacuum. We exist.
Except that's the whole
environment.
Yes. And what I'm saying is probably the reason why people go around telling lies and saying that it's to save the planet. First of all, there are two reasons why they tell this lie. The first is because they've been fed that lie. I'm not going to put the entire responsibility on the individuals themselves, because it's like our entire culture revolves around this idea. Oh, we need to save the planet. No, we need to save ourselves. That'd be a good start. So that's the first thing. I'm not going to put the entire blame on them, but still they have a responsibility.
And I also think people are starting to say that it's impacting humans more than the rest of everything else.
Which it kind of does, right? Because the reason you care is because it impacts us. Like, again, if I'm not saying that no one would care if it didn't impact humans, but it wouldn't be an issue if it didn't impact humans. We wouldn't talk about it on TV. It would be a bunch of liberal yahoos just in smoking weed and telling us, "Oh, it's bad, pollution, the turtles are dying." Who fucking cares? We make money. And it's been like that. Yeah. It's been like that.
Aside from the straws issue, people want to say no plastic straws, but we produce more pollution making metal straws and extracting metals from the earth than we do for making a plastic straw.
Yeah, and I've heard something really interesting about plastic bags, and is like, if you want to make plastic bags, the amount of CO2 you produce by creating one reusable bag.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of, in terms of environmental impact, it's been measured as the equivalent of 70,000 plastic bags, which would mean if you were to have a reusable bag, you'd have to use it 70,000 times to make it less impactful than using plastic bags. Is that a good trade? No, because you're probably not going to be using it 70,000 times.
You're going to lose it and you're going to buy another one, so it doesn't matter.
Oh yes, you'll have, it's like, let's say it's like you're sparing a few ants to kill a few birds. It's something like that. Oh, but I didn't kill the ants. Yeah, but now birds are. It's like it's not a good trade-off. But people think, oh, less plastic, that's good. Yeah, but what's the trade-off? More CO2, vastly more CO2. Is that good? Well, no. But why don't why don't people realize that? Because they just don't know. They're not being told that, because that's not the narrative. And I don't mean to, especially French journalism is fine, and I don't like. It's really different than from the US. It's not like there is one narrative that everyone tries to push, or at least they're being a little more subtle and nuanced about it. But there is this narrative that, oh, we need to do this and this and that, and those are very simple, straightforward problems. And that's just retarded, because that's not how things work, and you don't solve problem with that. And the problem is, people want to solve problems. The problem is when you give huge problems, very complex problems, and you give it to the masses are going to be making a mess of it. That's why, by the way, that's what democracy is. It's you don't solve the problem yourself. You elect someone to solve it for you. Someone that you trust is competent. But it's like it's so retarded. Like, people think they're helping. They're not helping. They're actually making it worse. And also they think, like, it's so dumb to think that it's a good idea. Like, here's the thing. Very often you'll hear people say, "Oh, but the industry is what's producing the most CO2. Us individuals, like us individual consumers, we don't actually generate that much, right?" And that's actually true. If you look at the charts, we are carbon emission from, let's say, cars, for instance, are far lower than carbon emissions from industry and stuff like that. So you might say, well, let's hit at the bigger piece of the cake first, right? And then you'd have people responding, yeah, but I mean, you have a point, right? But it's still our responsibility. We have to help in however little ways we can. And I 100% support that. The problem I have is that it's actually I believe it's disingenuous. Disingenuine? Whatever. It's not genuine because the idea is the reason I, as an individual, want to do better is because I feel like I have a responsibility, however small it is, within that huge problem. And that's a good attitude. You know, I have, even if it's a very small one, I have a responsibility. Good. More of that. But then the problem is, those are the same people that'll tell you things like, oh, but it didn't matter that I did this or this or that, you know? Which is an absolutely horrendous sort of mindset, where, like, for instance, you'd think, oh, but it doesn't matter that I said this little lie to that guy I'm never gonna see again. Things like that. It's like, well, you don't know that it's not gonna matter. How can that not matter, but using reusable bags, like, matters to you? You know what I mean? There's, like, sort of a... It feels to me like there's a incoherence, right? Because on some things, oh yes, individual action matters even if it's very small. But on so many other things, oh, individual actions, pff, that's nothing. It doesn't matter. So, like, you gotta be coherent. Either you matter, however small you are, either you matter, and I'm talking to you, Pally, I'm talking to you, Zaz. However small you are, either you matter or you don't matter. In every field. But it can't be one or the other. It can't be, oh, sometimes I matter, sometimes I don't. Like, no, either you do matter or you don't. And then the idea is, okay, maybe I do matter. Like, maybe you can easily tell me, but in Budo, like, maybe you're going a little too far. Maybe you don't have to go to be so much in the absolute. And, you know, maybe that's fine. Maybe you do matter.
Yeah, you're ignoring the nuance of life.
No, I don't think so. Look, the way I see it is the way I see it personally. I'm gonna give you my. I'm gonna give you.
Our life is a lot of complex systems. It's not.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. But hear me out on this. I'm gonna give you my position on this. My personal opinion is that I personally feel like I do have a responsibility for legitimately everything that happens on Earth, good or bad, though it's tiny most of the time, tiny and near insignificant. And the idea is, well, maybe you need to do something about it. What you have to learn, however, is to realize that sometimes it's not worth doing something about it. It's a decision you have to make. You know, it's too easy to say, oh, it doesn't matter, so I'm not going to do anything. It's a lot harder to say, well, maybe it matters a tiny bit, and I'm going to have to deal with it, and to deal with the fact that I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm going to have to accept the fact that I decided that I wouldn't do anything about it. And I'm going to have to live with it. And it's a really hard thing to live with. You know, like, if you know you're part of a problem, even if you have a tiny responsibility, the moment you decide that you have even a tiny responsibility and you decide not to deal with it, there's guilt that comes with that. And it's extremely hard to deal with. And most people can't deal with it. But I think the most healthy way of dealing with it is to think, okay, I do have a responsibility, and I'm not going to do my best to try and fix that problem. And I make the decision not to do the best I could. And it's a very hard thing to do. But then, like, it forces you to be humble, because you have to say, okay, I'm not going to do the best I can, simply because I'm not perfect. I'm flawed. I know that. And I'm sorry. I'm actually sorry to be flawed like that. But I can't fix that problem. I can't help with that problem. Not right now. And I think it's much healthier and also much more difficult to think that than to think, oh, it just doesn't matter.
So when are we gonna start talking about girlfriends?
1 hour in, let's go. Yeah, I want a girlfriend. So yeah, next week I want to work on that. You know how last week it was about.
This week you want to work on getting a girlfriend?
Yes,
you said?
yes. Actually, I want to take some steps towards that. And so, but I don't really know.
Did you shave?
Yeah, I shaved.
Did you get a haircut?
My hair is fine. I could get a haircut, but it's fine. I mean,
Are you looking appealing to the ladies?
I actually do. I look fine. Like, I look a lot better than I did a few weeks ago. I got some really nice looking clothes. I got some compliments at work. Mm-hmm. From the ladies.
That's always nice.
Yeah. No, I actually look fine. Like I don't look repulsive. So I think that's good enough actually. Like I look better than you is what I mean.
Are you going to wear your cowboy hat and carry around a revolver and cowboy boots and stuffs?
No, probably not.
You're not gonna be a cowboy.
That'd be cool though. I'd be down, but probably not.
Do French girls like cowboys?
I don't know. Probably some of them do.
Do you even want to date a French girl?
What?
Do you even want to date a French girl?
Yeah, sure. Like okay. So I want a girlfriend, and
Try to find a costume party. Lily Zoom.
Lily Zoom. You're not sub to Lily. Costume party. That's not a bad idea. So okay,
Yeah, you want to
'Cause I'm
find
not
a
a
gamer
wig.
cosplayer.
So here's the thing. My question for you guys is, I need ideas on how I can meet people. And I don't, okay, so here's the thing. I don't want to enlarge my social circle. I genuinely don't want to. I just want a girlfriend. Now I know what you're gonna tell me, and it's a very fine argument, which is that, well, getting a girlfriend would probably be a lot more organic, natural, and make a lot more sense if it was within a social circle. And fair enough, that's correct. But
How many dating apps do you have installed?
is 0 a number? I don't.
Well, is zero effort as well?
Well, yeah, pretty much. That's why this week I'd like to try things. And I
mean, you literally could just start with installing a dating app.
I do.
Does Twitter or Reddit count? Sometimes I talk to girls on there.
What did you say? Count?
Does Twitter or Reddit count?
Sure. Like actually, sure, fair. Like I'm open. I actually think it would be a lot. It would make a lot more sense for me to use something like that. Like actually. But yeah, like the criteria is, the minimum is I'd have to be able to meet up with that girl, so she'd have to be French. Not necessarily Parisian, though that make it easier, but at least French. Like she has, or at least to live in France. That's the minimum. That's the bare minimum. I can't do better than that. So even if I meet her online, has to be in France.
Do some
Yeah, I
research
would
about
just say-
events going on near you.
Yeah. Right. That's something I thought about, but every time I'm like,
Here's what you do. You look at events that are happening, like public events or whatever,
Yeah.
and then you install your dating apps, and then when you're talking to someone, you say, "Oh, hey, this is happening soon. Do you want to go to
So
this?"
you're already assuming I'd be talking to people on a dating app.
Well,
That's bold, man. That's ambitious.
people are on there, and you're gonna find someone pretty
Okay.
quickly, especially if you say you're above at least a 1 on the attractiveness scale.
I most definitely am. Like I'm confident in that. I'm not repulsive. I have a question though. Like one thing that I'm very wary of. I mean, one reason why I'm wary of dating apps is because
You don't want to get catfished.
well, there's that. But
Oh, okay.
it's also
What's the big one?
like I don't want one night stands. I want a proper girlfriend.
Well, that's why you take them to whatever event, right? You don't just say, "Oh, hey, let's meet up." It's, "Oh, hey, let's go to this thing and let's get to know each other."
Yeah. Okay, but so is there no way for me to be certain that they're not looking for a one night stand? Like, what do I do? I'm confused.
I'm sure they would make that quite apparent to you.
Ask them.
Girls don't make many things apparent. Like, actually,
Well, maybe you're hanging around the wrong type of girls.
the type that lie because they're afraid of men. That's a lot of girl. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I don't hang out. Maybe that's why I need to meet up. I mean, I need to meet girls at all, not you ones. Just, I mean, whatever. Yeah, sure. I like for girls not to fucking lie to my face all the time. That'd be really nice. Indeed.
Well, humans lie. That's what we do.
Yeah, right. You shouldn't.
Well, you're not gonna get very far.
Well, yeah, I'd rather be alone than.
Yeah, you have to decide what is an acceptable lie and what isn't, right?
Okay, so here's an acceptable lie. Everything else isn't. All right. There is no such thing as an acceptable lie. I do not accept lies. Period. Like, just period. If you're lying, it's just you're just. Look.
Thinkies.
Okay. Here's one way to put it. If you're lying about,
you're gonna have a hard time.
I know, but I'm sorry, I can't stand lies. It's like when you lie, you betray me before anything has even, like, you betray the future that's possible. It's okay.
I mean, you're like saying, oh, you can't be defensive, like with someone you don't know.
What if a girl tells you she's wearing panties, but she really isn't? Big lie. Cancel the date. Dumb witch.
I didn't say cancel the date. I didn't say that because I don't believe that. I believe in trying to making the situation better. What I do say is that there is no valid excuse for a lie. And the worst kind is the kind of girls that would go around and defend their lies. Oh, but it's, I should tell him that I'm busy that day even though I'm not, but I really just don't want to date him. Like, no, you shouldn't. Why would you tell a lie? Because here's what happens. So the amount of time I ask a girl on a date, not that many, but quite a few still, and all I get is excuses, and I know it's just fucking lies. Then how can I trust? And so that's a recurring pattern. It happens all the time, right? How can I fucking trust anything that comes out of the mouth of any girl I don't know? Because I will be 95% of the time. My experience.
Why are you entitled to their truths?
What do you mean entitled to the truth? Okay, you want to know what happens when I don't get the truth? No. I mean, seriously, do you want to know what happens when I'm just going to talk about myself for now, but then we'll expand that a little bit. What do you think happens when I don't get the truth? What do you think happens? Go ahead.
I don't like. Oh, I'm asking, why are you entitled to anything?
Okay. No. Answer my question. What do you think happens? Do I seem to be like content with it right now?
I don't know what happens.
Okay. I'm telling you. I get resentful. It makes a lot of sense, right? Bitches lie to my face. Do I deserve lies? No, I can handle the truth. I'd love the truth. I'd love to be told, dude, you're ugly. I don't want to date you. Fuck off. I'd rather be told that than that what they call a white lie. Okay, so that happens. I get lied to even though I could handle the truth. So I take that as an insult. Like, you can't handle the truth, so I'm not even gonna give you that. Okay, and then I get angry, and then I get resentful. And what do you think happens when almost every single woman I meet does that? What do you think happens? Do I go around assuming girls act in good faith? Do you think that's what happens? Because it's not. Now,
is that every girl's fault, or is that your fault for just assuming that some of them are like that?
Assuming? What do you mean assuming? Do you think I make this shit up? I'm talking about my life experience. You can't, here's the thing. You can't tell me my experience is wrong. You can't tell me it's incomplete. And fair enough, it might be. But it's not like I have conscious control over how I feel. Right? I'm not telling you.
You can.
I'm not telling you.
You can understand your feelings and then say maybe I shouldn't.
Listen to me. I'm not saying that I haven't. How to put it? That it's valid for me to be resentful. Because I know that the best thing for me to be is to not be resentful and give every single girl her chance and find a way to deal with those lies one at a time. I know that's the best thing for me to do, and that's what I'm trying to do. But bear with me. What do you think happens when you lie? In that situation or any other, what do you think happens? You lie to me, I get resentful. What do you think happens if you do that to 100 men? And what do you think happens if 100 women do that to 100 men? Or 1,000 women to 1,000 men? And so on and so forth. And you keep doing that. What do you think happens? Do you think men trust women afterwards? Because I'm not an exception, man. Do that enough time. And by the way, do you live in a big city? Because I know that there's a big difference. In big cities, girls lie all the time because they want to get away from sticky situation, which I understand. There are sticky situations that you just don't want to have to deal with, and you just lie. I understand that, and I sort of empathize with that. But I can't help but find it absolutely disgusting. I don't want to be lied to. I want to be told the cold, harsh truth. Dude, you're repulsive. Don't come near me. I'd rather hear that every single time. And what do you mean entitled to the truth?
What if they actually are not thinking about you in any sort of way, and they're just saying, "Oh yeah, that's cool," and then that's all they ever think about you?
Then they just say, no thanks, I don't want to go on a date. They don't say, oh, actually, I got something planned. It's like, no, you don't. That's a lie. You don't have to lie to me. I'd rather girls just tell me, I don't want to date you. I'm not interested in dating you. Like, I get why.
And what if they're not capable of saying something like that? Is what we're trying to say.
Then I'm glad I'm not dating them.
Then why are you going to be resentful for it?
Because every single girl, almost every single girl I have met and engaged with, does that. Most of them do, and I'm not making that up. Now maybe I've met the wrong people. That's possible, but that's, from what I can tell, it's the majority. It's most of them, and it's a nice surprise when they don't lie, when they actually do what I consider to be honorable. I'm not saying it's easy. I know it's not. I know it's actually really hard, and you have to be very brave to tell the truth, especially when you're a woman facing a man who's asking you out, and you're afraid of his reaction. You have to be pretty fucking brave to tell the truth and say, no thanks, I'm not interested. I know it's hard. I can understand that. That doesn't change the fact. Like, I'm still disgusted by it.
And then?
What do you mean, and then?
Well, what's next?
Well, my hope then is that so okay, let's assume all right, let's assume that happens. I say, hey, can so it happened actually quite recently with a coworker. So I asked her to go grab a drink or something. She made up some bullshit excuse, and I knew it was complete bullshit. And she knew too, and I mean, I guess she doesn't know me. She doesn't want to create problems. She's a coworker too, so you don't want to create tensions, and that's why she lied to me. Okay, fair enough. Then a few weeks ago, we take the subway. We both take the same subway to go home, and we end up on the same train car thingy, and she's right in front of me. I'm reading a book, and then she tries to go away from me before I notice, but I notice, and so the next day I ask her, what was up with that. She doesn't really know what to answer. I know she's a very anxious girl too, and so I don't. Let's say I'm not blaming her, because I know it was a tricky situation for her too. So I gave her some time, and a few days later she came back to me and said, hey, you know what? I'm sorry about that thing. I just didn't want to talk to anyone. It wasn't against you specifically, and she was being totally genuine. I could tell, and I told her I don't care about what the truth is. I just want the truth, and so there you go. But the problem is, it takes time, right? What I want is the truth, but it takes time for it to appear. But then what am I supposed to do when I go on a rapid fire rampage on dating apps and all I get is lies all the time? I know I won't be able to stand that. So if I was to date a girl, first of all, I'd assume she has some pretty good reasons to lie to me, which, again, is no excuse, but I knew she'd do that. But then, okay, so here's a question to you, Pally. How do you deal with that? What do you do when girls lie to your face? Do you just take it? Do you confront them? I mean, I suspect you don't confront them because you're a cuck. But seriously, what do you do?
Well, I wouldn't take it personally, as you are. because that person has their own life experiences and are trying to get through it the way they know how to do it. And I'm not going to try to force them to do something they're not going to want to do.
It's not about forcing. It's about negotiating. Like,
Well, that's why I said, what's an acceptable type of lie, you know?
none.
You say, oh,
Depends what you mean by acceptable.
how is that no negotiation?
What depends what you mean by acceptable.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, what is an acceptable type of lie to you? If you say, oh, no lie is acceptable, well, then you're not going to have any luck anywhere.
Well, it depends on the context. Like,
because unless you know someone really well first before you try to date them, they're going to lie to you regardless. No matter how much, you think they want to be truthful or how much you want them to be truthful, they're going to lie to you. Everyone is going to lie to you at some point.
Look, I don't know how to deal with lies.
I mean, you have to just accept that people lie. That's
Except
just
I
how
can't.
people
Like,
are.
how do you want me to accept that? I take lies as insults. Okay, maybe I could not do that.
You can be offended, but so what? How is like your need to not be lied to greater than someone's need to lie?
What kind of bull? Are you actually arguing in favor of lies right now? Are you actually doing that?
No.
You sound like you're doing that. I'm actually confused. Like, are lies a good thing?
Are all lies unjustified?
Depends what you mean by justified. I said good. Is there ever such a thing as a good lie?
It does depend on the context, I would say.
So you'd say yes.
I think there are good lies, yes.
Okay. What do you have in mind?
Assuming you accept lies as insults from a random that you're never going to see again, shouldn't carry as much weight anyway, especially in a big city.
Except, no, it's not random. It's someone I'm interested in, so it's not anyone. Like, if I was interested in anyone, then that would make... It just doesn't make sense. It's not a random insulting me. Obviously. It's like putting salt on a wound, Like, not only am I getting rejected, but I'm being insulted on top of it.
I don't know how to explain it in a way you would understand.
So in 20 years, after you've forgotten them, are you still going to be insulted by them?
That's a good question. Probably
you
not.
Just think about things so differently that it's hard to explain it to you.
I'm not blind. I do realize that a lot of what I say is about how I'm oversensitive to certain things that I could be less sensitive to, and that I take to heart things that aren't personal. I get that. But then I have two problems. The first one is, well, I'm not crazy. I'm not the only one, right, who thinks that way. And it's not... I'm not saying that it's justified. I think it's at least understandable. Like, my position is understandable. That's the first thing I'm saying. And the second thing I'm saying is, the world would be a strictly better place if everyone could do without lies. However, I understand that that's just not possible. But I can't help but being hurt every time I am lied to.
Well, does it help you to always be hurt?
If I had a choice, then I'd rather not be hurt. But then the question is, what's the cost? How do I get there, and what's the cost? Because if the cost is, well, you have to not care about another human being and like dismiss them as subhuman trash and their opinions not mattering because they're lying pieces of shit no matter what, then I think I'd rather avoid that and still be hurt. I'd rather be hurt.
Well, you don't have to go.
Yeah, I'd rather be hurt than think I'm the only human being on Earth.
I mean, you know, you're walking through your house and you stub your toe. Are you gonna sit there for 3 hours saying, "Oh, I stubbed my toe and it hurts so bad"?
No,
or are you
because
gonna say,
stubbing
okay,
my
well, that happened, and I'm gonna
no,
go
because
on.
stubbing my toe doesn't last that long. But I don't get to decide how long a thing lasts. I can become resilient to it, but I can't.
What I'm trying to say is, if you hit your toe, how long are you gonna sit there and say, "Oh, my toe hurts"?
For as long as it hurts more than I can bear. Which, if it's stubbing my toe, I've done it like 100 times. By the 100th time, I know to just ignore it. But I ignore the pain, but it doesn't mean I'm not in pain.
But you continue on,
Yes.
right? Whether or not you're in pain.
But that's after the 100th time. The first time, it fucking hurts. You know, maybe the moral of the story is that I should interact with girls more, and I think that's a perfectly fine moral. Like, I think that's probably spot on, right?
Yeah.
Which is exactly what I'm trying to do this week, like this next week. That's the entire point. Also.
Well, good luck. Install some dating apps. Get rejected 100
Okay.
times, and then maybe
so I'd like some more specifics, though.
Fill your house with Lego pieces so you can start becoming resilient to them.
That's actually a really good idea. I'm not gonna do that though.
I mean,
Step all over them and stuff.
It's not really often you're gonna find a Lego piece in the wild to step on.
The pain will become bearable.
So okay.
Sleep on Lego
So
pieces.
I have a question. So, what I want you to tell me all the trails I could follow to try and meet some girls to date. So there are dating apps. Could you be a bit more specific? Or maybe not. I don't know. I actually don't know.
I don't know. Open your phone and search dating app.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to take pictures.
What app store do you have?
I can't be more specific because I don't know or use any of them and never have.
I have an Android.
Okay, go to your Play Store and search dating app. I mean, it depends on how you want to go about it.
What do you mean?
You know, you say you want to get to know somebody, and most people usually have in their profile, "Oh, I want to get to know somebody," or "I want a one-night stand," or whatever. Or they say they want to hook up. People usually put that in their profile.
Okay, so you're telling me, well, doesn't matter, just pick one and go for it, right?
Yeah, you don't know what you're gonna know if you're gonna like that person or not.
Okay, I mean, I was talking about dating apps.
Oh yeah, I would just go for any of them.
Okay.
Well, I think some of them actually have their own specific purposes, but
Okay. Okay. What else?
you know, set your profile up.
Okay. So I could start with that tomorrow. You know, like set up a. The problem is that I don't have a good camera, meaning I don't have good pictures, and that's actually a problem. You know, actually having a bad camera might be a plus because a photo with.
Just put a picture of your guitar. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Why not?
Send them a picture of your Minecraft house.
I don't have a Minecraft house. I just dig holes. Maybe they like that.
Is that where you live?
What? I don't.
Is that where you live in Minecraft?
I don't play Minecraft right now, so I don't live in Minecraft at the moment.
Take a picture with the background being your Overwatch profile.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. That's a bad idea.
Nerd.
That's a very bad idea.
Is your rating that bad?
What? It's
rating that bad? Show them your headshot count with Widowmaker.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. You cunt. But
show me your Mercy healing.
Oh, I actually have insane stats on Mercy. Like really, really, really good stats.
Well, there you go.
But no, bitches don't want a Mercy main, you idiot.
What if you want to date someone who does?
Okay, whatever, dude. But like, again, problem. I don't have a proper camera. What do I do? Like,
Take a picture anyway.
yeah, I guess bad pictures are better than no pictures. But like, then what do I do? Do I just take pictures in front of the mirror? That sounds fucking gay. I'd have to.
Just take a
But
picture.
I'd have to.
Try to get good lighting.
You're over the sunlight is definitely a
But
necessity when you're taking
dude,
a
someone
picture.
has to take a picture of me, right?
Can you not like set it on your windowsill and press timer 3 seconds and stand
I don't
back?
think I can do that on my phone.
If you have any sort of
Which I
modern
don't.
phone. If your phone was built in the last 30 years, you have a timer on your phone.
I believe that's the. Really? Hold on, I want to check. Do I have a timer?
All phones have. I'm pretty sure all phones have like at least like a 3 or 5 second timer for.
Oh, you have a
snapshots.
3 or 5 seconds timer. All right, let me see. Oh, I do. Up to 10 seconds. Wow. That's crazy.
Forehead.
But I don't have a frontal camera. So I can't see what picture I'm taking.
So you can take more than one.
Set up the frame beforehand.
Forehand?
Here's what you do. You designate an area for your phone to set. You make it record video, right? Make sure you memorize how you set your phone up. You go and you stand in your frame. You make a couple poses.
Oh my
and
god,
you
that
come back
sounds
to the
so
video.
gay. I don't want to do that. Oh, jeez.
The best things in life require a struggle.
Dude, that sounds so gay. I don't want to do that. I really don't. Oh my god.
And what happens when a girl asks for a selfie?
Better
You
gay than
say, "Oh, I
single."
can't do that.
Then I don't. It's fucking gay. Do I have to be gay?
You're
Do I
getting
have to
the
be
cringe.
gay to get a girlfriend? That sounds dumb.
Some girls like gay things.
Yeah, maybe the ones you date.
So, do you want to put your dick inside a girl or not?
Oh, that'd be neat.
The alternative is you just turn your camera around and take a picture.
So
The
then take the
alternative
pic-
is I
What
don't
you
use
like.
online dating services, and I actually meet them IRL. They can see my picture IRL. IRL.
Well, how do you meet them? How do you know?
And
what to
boom,
meet up?
transition segue. I'm a genius. So that's the second question. How do I do? There's this thing called Meetup. This website where there are.
That's the same thing as a dating app.
It's not though. It's not a dating app. You don't.
When I'm saying dating app, I'm literally just saying install something where you can meet
Except it's not
somebody.
somebody. It's a meetup. Meetup is like events. It's an event. You don't necessarily know who's coming.
Just go to your closest anime
What do
convention.
you mean?
Girls are
Why
working
would
on
I
it.
go to a weeb show? Why?
Because all the people going there are going there just to have sex with other people.
So you can find other weebs who like online like you.
So, okay. First of all,
So you can find a hot cosplay girlfriend.
why are you so right? I hate it. Dude,
You gotta go
Yeah,
where the
but-
girls are.
there's no way I'm getting a cosplay girlfriend.
Oh, you can always try.
Fuck's sake.
Not if you never tried.
It's like I'll make such a fool of myself trying. Oh my god.
Go there. Girls love music. We've told you this before, I think.
So, we all do.
Fuck you, Zeiss.
You have to be confident.
Oh
Girls
yeah,
like confidence.
just be confident. Just be confident, dude. Yeah, right.
Just accept it.
Just stop being anxious, dude. Stop being sad. Why are you
No,
sad?
You can be conscious or conscious and confident
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
same
yeah,
time.
exactly. Why are you sad? Stop being sad. Depression isn't real.
Some girls like anxious guys.
Yeah, just be depressed in the
Oh
corner.
my
Just
God,
blacken
no.
your nails and your eyes, and you get your emo hair.
Shut up.
Sit in the
Shut
corner,
up.
get
Oh
a
my
sign-
God.
get a
What
sign
kind
that
of
says, "I'm
women? What
depressed."
kind of woman am I gonna attract doing that?
What kind of women are you going to attract not going to a convention?
Okay.
What kind of women are
okay,
you going to attract sitting in your room doing
okay.
nothing?
What do you mean doing nothing? I have a job. I'll have you know. I have a job. I earn money.
Are you meeting women right now? How are you meeting women right now?
Ah! Shut up. Okay. But anime convention, dude, that's so good. But it's a good idea, but it's such a bad one. It's like, dude. Okay. Hold on. Anime convention. If I want to get like a cosplayer girlfriend, that'd be like, on a scale of 1, like that'd be the final boss, right? That would actually be the final boss. Super high risk, but super high reward, right? Why do you want to make me start at the final boss? Please, come on. Let's.
So what? You want to start with like a corner slot or
What?
something?
No, that's too low.
Well, you have to grind.
Yes,
your
and you
experience.
don't start with the final boss.
Well, where
I
do
don't
you
know,
start?
dating apps sounds like a good idea. Or meetups, actual meetups. But the problem I have had with meetups is a lot of the girls are not all that young. I mean, some are.
What's wrong with
No.
MILFs? Mamas make
No,
good companions.
shut up. I want to have a family.
What if you could just acquire a family?
Acquire.
Install yourself into someone else's
Jesus,
family.
That's disgusting. Oh, and then I bang her daughter. Hey, good idea.
Would be your
Mm.
daughter,
That's
not related
she'd
by
call
blood.
me daddy. Jesus, that's so sick. I love it. Anyway, so meetup. I mean, the problem I have with meetups is it's weird. I have like it's just social interaction, you know. Like I'd have to introduce myself and break the ice, and I don't know how to do that.
You just talk about yourself.
Yeah, but I think I do that a bit too much.
Yeah, you're pretty
What
good
does
at
it
it.
mean?
I don't. How is this going to be an issue
What
for
do you mean? Okay, I'm gonna tell you a story that my father told me about.
Do I need to get some popcorn?
No, maybe. So he was at the bar with his buddies, and they were trying to pick up chicks, but they were basically competing, right? And so the entire evening, his friends were like boasting about some and bragging and whatnot to these chicks, and they were like, "Oh, that's so cool!" Wow. And then my dad, he waited for like much later in the evening, and then he started talking to them and rebonding with them, and he got the chicks. So like you don't blow your load, and you don't. I don't know. I mean, the moral he was trying to tell me is that you don't blow your load immediately. You gotta make it last, and you can't. But I guess I'm not that bad at doing that. Like I know I was really terrible at that before, where I would just say everything that I thought was interesting about me and then have nothing left. But I think I've gained enough character and enough discipline that I know, first of all, that I have many more things to say, and that I don't just tell them right away. Yeah, I think I'm better at it.
Some girls like it when you blow your load on them.
Yeah, I knew you'd say that. So,
Well, you're lying then, aren't you? You're not telling what's the best part about you?
well, I don't know what the best part about me is.
Quit lying.
It's not a lie if I don't know the answer.
Well, you're not telling the truth.
It's a lie if I know it's not the truth. If I don't know that it's not the truth, then it's a mistake. I don't think that's specific. I think that's perfectly reasonable. But then okay. So the question is, so there's this meetup thing.
But it has to be done skillfully. It's like when a writer is bad and drops all the character exposition at once, in the beginning of the story, and then the audience gets bored and dislikes the story and the character and the writer.
Yeah, something like that, right? I think the easiest would be dating app, because the ice breaking would be a lot more natural. Like, we'd both be awkward, hopefully, probably. I mean, it's more likely. And since there would be only two people, so me and like whatever girl I'd be on a date with, it'd be a lot easier. Like, if I get rejected, at least I'm only a fool to one person, right? I'm only humiliated in front of a single person. Whereas a meetup thing, that's a lot riskier. And that's why I'm saying anime convention is like the highest risk and highest reward, right? Because high risk because there are people everywhere, and everyone's going to be looking at the cosplayer, and everyone's going to see you ask for her number, right? But if you get her number, boy, you got yourself a cosplayer. That's 10 out of 10. I'm not a weeb, by the way. I think it's important I reiterate that. I'm not a weeb.
You sub to a lily. Yes, you are.
Just do what I tell you.
Okay, what do I do?
Get your app, and then just don't take them to like the standard or whatever, like
no,
or dinner
what?
or coffee or whatever. You have to like go to an event or whatever.
What?
And make it an experience.
What? I'm confused. I thought dinner was fine. I think movie is a bad idea because you don't get to talk to her, but I thought dinner would be fine. Or having a drink or something. What's wrong with that?
Or maybe like coffee or tea. That's probably okay.
Like a proper drink.
Or yeah, get drunk.
Something that gets her adrenaline going. She'll associate the increased heart rate with liking you and stuff.
Or, I mean, hopefully with liking me, yes. Except I don't go out much. Like, going to events, you're funny. What kind of events do I even know? I don't even go to the restaurant.
I mean, like I don't know, like a fair. What do you guys do in France?
Stand up.
I don't know what people do in France. I'm on the internet. I'm not in France. I legit don't know, dude. Like, actually.
Watch a horror movie with her.
No. That's a bad idea.
Well, you have to put some serious effort in.
Yes, and that's why I'm asking you for help.
And I'm giving you advice, and you're just
because I don't know.
But I don't know what you have over there. You have to do your own research for that.
I mean, I guess.
I'm sure there's plenty of stuff going on in Paris.
Probably. But then it depends on what she likes, right? Or does it? Like, because what I like doing is staying home and playing video games and watching stuff and playing the guitar. That's what I like doing.
Well, you can always start out doing something else, and then you say, "Oh, I have guitar. You want to go see me play guitar?"
Isn't that pretty?
Or I'm good at Overwatch.
No. Oh, Jesus, please, no. That's I don't.
Yeah, that's probably a bad idea because I don't think you want to show them how much you rage.
I don't. Okay, fuck. You might be accurate on this one.
Do some video game inspired stuff. Laser tag, go bowling and pretend you're playing Wii Sports and stuff.
Wii Sports IRL.
Does France have like internet cafes and like arcades or whatever?
I want to say probably.
Maybe you should just take them to one of those and just play video games. Play video games in a public space.
Like the nerdy video game sort of places here that I know of in Paris, they're so cheesy and I hate them. Like there's this bar called The Last Bar Before the End of the World. I fucking hate that place. It's so cheesy and geeky and I hate it. It's not nerdy, it's just and that word we use in France, we say
sounds so lame.
It's so lame. It's so fucking lame. I hate it so much. Like you have it's so tasteless.
Bad name.
Girls love cringe.
So tasteless. It's not cringe, it's tasteless. It's like take all of the geeky, nerdy tropes, like you know all your Star Wars and Doctor Who and shit like that. Take all of it, put it in a single place. It's so lame. It doesn't have personality. It's like shove everything in a single place and collect. Whoa, we're so nerdy. No, you're not.
Well, you don't have to go there.
I don't want to go there. There was no way I'd go there. No way.
Watch some Sunny with her, if she understand English and stuff.
Oh. that's a good idea. That's it. You know what?
Oh, does she have to understand English?
Oh,
That's a
you're
big
right.
one.
Actually, that's big. Well, depends.
Do you talk English a
In
lot
France?
in your
Me?
daily life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every single day I do.
And if she doesn't like the humor, then you'll know she'll be one of those girls.
Yeah, but then I'd have to get her to my place to watch a show, and if I start sending a message, hey, want to Netflix and chill, like, am I sending the right vibe? I don't think that's what I don't, like. It might work, but that's not the vibe I want to be sending. No.
Or carry your laptop with you. Watch it someplace public.
That's actually a good idea.
That's what I'm saying. You have to go to
Cafe
some
or
events
something.
or like go to an internet cafe or whatever. You do things out
That's
in
actually
public
a
first.
great idea. We go to like a cafe, and we go at the terrace, and
You whip out your laptop and say, oh hey, watch this.
Yeah, that's actually clever. Huh. You guys aren't so dumb.
Then go to a library and check out some video games.
A library? What? Why would I go to a library to check out some video games?
To show her you're a nerd.
Except maybe I don't want to be showing that. I guess I kind of have to.
You'd be lying if you didn't, because that's who you are, isn't it?
There's a difference between
Why
lying
not?
and not saying
Some
the
girls
truth.
like nerds, and some girls are nerds.
Yeah.
Are you saying lying by omission
It
doesn't
depends.
exist?
It depends why you're omitting it. It depends. If
Well,
it's
why would you
if
admit
look
that you're
look
a gamer?
look.
Why would you admit that
No,
you're
no,
a
no.
gamer?
It's not that I'd be omitting it. I'd be saying it. It's just it depends how relevant it is. Because if the girl isn't interested in that, then I wouldn't want to be pressing it. But I'd be saying it still. But I wouldn't like push it.
If you don't show her that you like games, then you're hurting her by not letting her know the truth.
That might be true.
Are you gonna date a non-gamer?
I don't know.
Why is it when I say it like, oh no, but then as soon as Zaya says it, like, oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Lol.
What is
Because she's
going
a
on
girl.
here? She's literally saying the same thing I'm saying.
Except she's literally not saying anything. She's typing. Get wrecked.
Master Chief is saying exactly what I'm saying.
Besides, you don't want to date someone who wouldn't want you to play games.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. So should I tell them right away that I think Ray Ayanami is my god? Yeah. Right. Okay. We're going somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Nice. I like it.
But you could say, oh hey, have you ever seen Neon Genesis?
And then she'll say, "Oh, is that a show for kids?" And then so I block her.
And then you're like, okay, goodbye.
That's like the easiest question, dude. What if I find a girl who's just as obsessed with it as I am? Wow, that
Maybe you should always start out with that question.
That'd be nice.
Just ask them, are you gonna get into the robot, or do I have to send Ray again?
What did you just say?
Tell them. It's like, oh hello, are you gonna get in the robot, or do I need to send Ray in again?
Watch Naruto and discuss the Area 51 raid with her.
That's actually a good. That'd be so cool to actually check the area and try to strategize. How you'd actually storm it. That'd be clever. That'd be a fun thing to do. Though I'm not qualified to do that. Like I can't do it. I can only make.
We can just use Google Maps.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But then you figure out, we'd use this hill over there and as cover, and send the Naruto runners over for.
That sounds pretty nerdy.
Yeah. And I think I need a nerdy girlfriend, right? Like I don't think I so where I work, I know the girls there are party girls, and it just doesn't work. Like,
Rip.
I mean, they're a little bit nerdy, but they're mostly party girls, and it's just I like them, but it's just it's not working. Okay, so dating app. should I focus on just? I think the first thing is actually getting pictures and what, right? Because I'm not gonna have a dating profile if I don't have pictures, right?
Yeah, show them your weep collection.
What weeb collection? I don't have a weeb collection.
Okay. Show them your favorite anime.
What do you mean? Should I take a picture of Ray? Should I put a picture of Ray and?
Get a picture where you Photoshop Ray into your arms like you're hugging her and stuff like those Indian guys.
That's a very bad idea. I love it. Let's not do that. Should I take a picture of like my computer setup, where I have like 4 computers in the room and a switch and a firewall and whatnot and a bunch of wires, and should I take a picture of that and say, "Hey girls, check this out. I'm so nerdy."
And then Photoshop Justin Bieber's hair in place of your hair.
Yeah, no. I don't know. I guess I just gotta try, man. Like you're right. The rest will just come together, but I have to start, I guess. And I guess the easiest start would be the dating app, huh? And you're telling me, oh, don't bring her to dinner. I think dinner is okay. I think movie is a terrible idea. I think dinner is all right.
Well, I think like a dinner would be. You'd have a lot of more like etiquette things that you might screw up.
Yeah. Fuck.
Than if you were to just like meet out in like a coffee
Oh
shop
yeah,
or
right.
something.
Okay, so that's a good. Oh yeah, coffee shop. I bring my laptop. We can watch something. That's actually a good idea. And then I tell her, hey, want to see the end at my place? Boom, easy pussy, man.
Monkey ass.
Easiest rape of. I mean, yeah.
But when you say the end, you mean the end of Evangelion. So when they get there, and you put that
Yeah.
on, like,
Yeah,
that's not what I asked for.
dude, exactly. It's like when I told her I wanted to smash, and she starts unzipping her pants. I should get smash, just to make that joke. Okay.
So what are you gonna do first?
I think the way I did it last week is I really chopped up what I needed to do every single day, so that like every single day I'd have something to do. I think I'm gonna do something similar here, where I'm gonna say, for instance, well, let's say tomorrow I'm gonna take pictures of myself, right? I'm gonna just take the pictures tomorrow, and be done with it, and that's enough, right? Okay, and then
Don't send her any dick pics
not at first, and then the second,
unless she asks.
obviously, and then Tuesday, let's say I try to find a dating app, right? I want to avoid Tinder. I really want to avoid Tinder. I know it's, I don't like it. Like I have some experience with it, and it just doesn't work for me, because apparently Tinder has an algorithm thingy, and it's not working for me. Probably because I'm ugly.
Tinder's
No,
racist against
it's just that I'm
gamers?
ugly and not posting. Apparently, it's like if you like too many people, then they consider you to be the bottom of the barrel, and they're not going to recommend you to a lot of girls. Apparently, that's what happens.
Were you
Not
liking
everybody, but too many. Apparently, I wasn't being picky enough. Certainly not everybody. I liked girls that I found attractive. I don't know what else to tell you. I wasn't being extremely picky. Anyways, so I don't want to use Tinder. And fuck that shit, man. They ask you for your Facebook account. Like, screw that. Oh.
Well, they want to stalk your Facebook before they reply to your
Jesus,
message.
Give them a fake one.
I have a fake one. Anyway, so the second day I could find a dating app, a suitable one. And then on the third day, so on Wednesday, that's when I'd start maybe messaging girls, I guess. How does that sound? And then Thursday, Friday, I keep that up. Sounds good?
Sounds good.
What do you think, guys?
Make a song. Girls like songs.
What do you mean make a song? Like, should I post a recording of myself on my page? Or actually write a song for... What? I'm confused.
Sure, either.
Okay.
You need your anime intro.
What anime intro?
You need your anime
Zeiss
intro.
can do that for me.
Like the OP song.
I actually can sing some Naruto intros. Anyways, so... Yeah, that not...
Which one can you
Give me your
sing?
pics and I'll make your
It's-
anime intro.
It's signed by Flo. I realize the screaming pain,
Oh.
hearing loud in my... That one. That one's a
okay.
what? Yeah, it's good.
That one's okay. That's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
probably
it's
top
pretty
10.
good. I like it. I can sing a couple other ones, like "We are fighting dreamers." Okay, but yeah, that one's.
That one's like the most.
No, it's a
We-
good one.
That one sucks.
No, you, Zeiss, you're worse than us. You're making an anime. Anyways,
A good one,
It's just
though.
it's like
Naruto's actually pretty good. Like, if you remove the fillers, it's actually good.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
well, there's a few good filler arcs. Well, it depends on how you define filler. Because some of them some people consider filler. I
So,
wouldn't consider
okay.
filler.
I'm gonna do what.
Because
So enough with the Naruto talk. I'm gonna do what.
RB and the Chief is a way better anime.
That's true. I'm gonna do what we discussed here. I'll be posting you to. I'm gonna be posting you some updates on how things are going. Especially, I'm expecting things to go poorly on the third day when I start trying to message girls, because I'm expecting to get like basically no reply at all. And I'm very certain that one question I'm gonna have for you too, especially for you, Pally, is what should I do? Should I keep harassing these girls or not? But we'll see. Maybe I won't have to ask you that.
I mean, if you need help answering that question, I don't know what to say.
Dude.
If they send you any nudes, forward them to us so we can help.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I will.
Yeah, we'll tell you if it's a good one
but
or not.
no, seriously, like, I don't know. Should I? Oh, we'll see. We'll see. But I'm expecting plenty of problems ahead. Obviously.
If they don't respond in the
What do
first
you-
couple messages, it's probably not worth pursuing.
Okay. Well, you have to be sending a lot of messages, huh? Like, the problem is also.
Well, then this might be a multi-week project.
Like, the problem is also gonna be like, how low do I have to to set my standards? I don't like.
All women
Shut the
are valuable.
fuck up.
There is no.
This isn't Brave New World.
Women are not
That's true.
objects.
But I want to put my penis in some of them.
They're not
all
levels
them.
of
I
value
want to put
to
my
women.
penis in
Thoughts?
some of them, not all of them. All right then. I think that's it for me.
You need to be able to put your penis in any woman who wants it.
Yeah. No. That's actually Brave New World. Which is really strange. Anyways.
Okay, we're at the 2-hour
Almost,
mark.
yeah.
It's time for our anime review segment. Last week was video game news. This week is anime review.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What anime have you watched recently?
None. Depends what you mean by recently.
None? What was the last anime you watched?
I think it was. Which one did we watch last, Zeiss? Was it NGE?
Just finished my second viewing of RB and the Chief Season 8.
Oh yeah, I guess if you count that, I don't think that counts as anime. RB and the
What
Chief.
show?
But it's not. It's technically not anime. It's just a series with like toys. But it's not an anime. I think the last anime.
I would. That's an
okay.
anime.
If you count it,
Toy Story, but better.
if you count it as an anime, then sure. It's not though, but okay. Then yes, that was the one.
I mean, anime doesn't have to be.
I think anime means
anime.
Japanese animation, and it's not Japanese, and it's not cartoon.
What was the last cartoon you watched?
Cartoon or anime?
What was the last animated show you watched?
Disenchanted. The thing by Matt Groening.
Is that the? Hold on. I think I've seen some of that.
Yeah, and it's surprisingly okay. Like, yeah, it's
that
really
one?
not that bad. Like I was paying a lot of attention to the writing, to the archetypes and whatnot, and it was really interesting how they managed to make the characters freaks and full of flaws and kind of just archetypes that you'd find today in real life and would be like, but he doesn't fall in the trap of like,
I feel like we've seen this show a million times, and they're just making it again.
Well, maybe it's similar to the in what it tries to do. I think it's very similar to, obviously, to The Simpsons or Futurama, which is not so surprising. But I think it was good. I think it was good, actually. The music was really good. Really liked that.
I watched it, and I wouldn't say I disliked it, but I don't think it brought anything new.
That's fair. It was. I think it was good. I don't think it was anything new. I think it was just well made, or not stunningly well made. It was I wouldn't watch it a second time. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think it offers anything.
Yeah. I wouldn't
show wouldn't also
recommend
offer.
someone else spends time watching it. But if someone wants to, then sure, it's not a complete waste of time. It's a decent show. It's reasonable, you know, as a pastime, as a distraction. It's reasonable.
My favorite character was the demon cat.
I don't know. I found it. Well, that's what's so interesting, because like when you pay attention to the writing, you see that the archetypes make a lot of sense. Like, they really do. Like, even the demon, you know, it's a comic character, but he's really a demon. Like, he's up to no good. He really is. Like, when you look into his motivations and whatnot, he's a terrifying thing. And that's what I liked so much, is you look into it, he is. It's one scary thing. It's an actual demon. It's a beast. But you
Up to no good. Started making trouble in your neighborhood.
yeah. And then mom got scared and whatnot, but it was really well written. The characters were well written, I find. So that's the last show I've watched. The last animated show, cartoon. And the last proper anime was actually Neon Genesis Evangelion. I think we watched that last year with Zeiss.
Wow, you haven't watched
No,
any
I don't
anime
watch
recently?
anime because I'm not a weeb. Anime is
That's unfortunate.
so bad. It's seriously bad. And I mean it. Like, there are so few animes that are worth my time. Most of the quote unquote big names are just trash. With exceptions.
And that concludes the anime
Thank
segment.
God it's over, jeez.
And our next segment is viewer
Yeah.
questions. Let me just pull those up. And there are no viewer questions, so that concludes this segment of viewer questions.
Mm-hmm. I think that means we are done. think that's it for this week. Unless Zeiss wants to have her segment, which I don't know. Do you? You can express yourself to the world. It's your one opportunity, once in a lifetime thing. This is this.
I don't have anything planned.
And that concludes.
And that's the end of Zai's segment. Make sure to
subscribe. To leave a comment.
leave
Yes,
your
and tell us how
questions.
gay you think Zeiss is on a scale from 1 to gay.
We need viewer questions for the next segment of viewer questions, because this time we
Yeah, because we didn't.
You can just wait for when I'm done making my anime and watch my thoughts and stuff there. TP for fun.
Phones. It makes sense that we don't have any viewer questions since we didn't post the previous podcast yet. Because you guys didn't send me the audio.
And that concludes our recap segment.
Yeah,
Thanks for watching.
Thankies.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And don't forget to like, subscribe, buy the merch, and subscribe to all 3 of our channels, because we're 3 people, right? Yes. Thanks. Hit the bell, buy the merch, and I'll link my dating accounts, right? If ladies, right, I'm open to So, yeah, thanks for watching.